What if the FBI had hidden, manipulative techniques that could control your mind? Techniques so powerful, they were once deemed illegal to teach, until now. Today, we reveal how these tactics have been used to break terrorists in 72 hours, and how you may already be unknowingly influenced by them. Keep watching. What's coming next could change how you see the world. Section 1. The Anatomy of FBI Mind Control. When we think about the FBI, we typically envision an organization dealing with law enforcement, counterintelligence, and national security. What many don't know, however, is that the FBI has long engaged in mind control experiments and techniques designed to influence, manipulate, and extract information from individuals. These techniques, used in various contexts such as hostage situations or terrorist interrogations, were once classified but are now revealed in leaked documents. In this section, we will look at the foundational principles behind these FBI mind control tactics. What you're about to learn could put you at risk of being manipulated. Stay alert. Section 2. The FBI's Psychological Manipulation Method, the Power of Authority. The first technique we'll dive into is the principle of authority. The FBI has long known how to wield authority to influence individuals' perceptions and decisions. They use this to establish control in any conversation or interrogation. The principle is simple but effective. When someone in a position of authority speaks, people instinctively listen and obey. The FBI uses this tactic in situations where they need to force compliance without using direct threats or violence. They know how to position themselves as the trusted figure in the situation. This psychological tactic is often used in conjunction with other forms of manipulation, like mirroring or psychological priming, to amplify its effect. Notice how authority shapes this interaction. In the next part, you'll see how the FBI uses body language to control a suspect's thoughts. Section 3. The Role of Cognitive Dissonance in Mind Control. This is how the FBI breaks down terrorists' defenses in 72 hours, and the truth might shock you. Cognitive dissonance occurs when an individual is faced with two conflicting ideas, beliefs, or attitudes, which causes psychological discomfort. The FBI has expertly used this principle in their tactics by presenting conflicting ideas to their subjects, forcing them into a corner where the only way to resolve the discomfort is to comply with the desired action or confession. For example, if someone believes they are an innocent person, but the FBI provides evidence suggesting otherwise, the individual is placed in a psychological state of discomfort. The longer this dissonance is sustained, the more likely they are to give in, altering their behavior, beliefs, or attitude. Cognitive dissonance is the FBI's most underrated tool. What they do next will leave you questioning your beliefs. Section 4. The FBI's foot in the door technique. This simple request can get you to commit almost anything. You'll never look at a request the same way again. The foot in the door technique is a subtle yet incredibly powerful method used by the FBI to gain compliance. Essentially, it involves getting a subject to agree to a small, low-risk request first, and then using that initial agreement as a stepping stone to larger demands. By getting their target to say yes to something small, the FBI increases the likelihood of getting them to agree to bigger, more significant requests. In an interrogation setting, this could be as simple as asking a suspect to confirm their name, and later asking them to confirm their involvement in a crime. The more times they say yes, the more likely they are to continue to say yes to more consequential requests. Ever agreed to something small, only to find yourself locked into a bigger commitment? The FBI uses this on terrorists, and you've probably used it on yourself without realizing. Section 5. The Power of Isolation in Breaking Down Resistance. The FBI uses isolation to extract information, and it works so well, terrorists break in less than 24 hours. Isolation is another crucial technique used by the FBI to control a person's mental state. By separating the subject from familiar surroundings, people, and comfort, the FBI strips away external influences, leaving them more vulnerable to persuasion and psychological pressure. This tactic is often used in high-stakes situations, where the FBI needs to break down a target's resistance quickly. The absence of normal distractions, family, friends, and even the natural day/night cycle can force a person to focus entirely on the situation at hand, heightening their susceptibility to manipulation. You don't realize it, but isolation is a silent killer for your mind. This is how the FBI keeps you from thinking for yourself. Section 6. The use of fear in FBI mind control. Fear is one of the most potent psychological tools in the FBI's arsenal. When psychological manipulation is no longer effective, the FBI escalates to the primal human response of fear. Fear disrupts rational thought, making individuals more likely to comply with demands in order to avoid a perceived threat or danger. This is often used in extreme cases, such as hostage situations or when dealing with high-risk individuals. By inducing fear, the FBI can manipulate individuals into doing things they normally wouldn't, pushing them into making life-altering decisions under pressure. Fear isn't just an emotion, it's a powerful weapon. Watch how it transforms this interaction in a heartbeat. Section 7. The use of persuasion and framing. Imagine being convinced that what you're doing is for your own good. This is how the FBI gets inside your head without you even knowing it. Framing is a psychological concept used to influence how people perceive information. The FBI is an expert at framing situations, events, and even actions in a way that aligns with their goals. They don't simply present facts. They present facts with context that makes those facts seem like the only possible interpretation. In interviews or interrogations, the FBI might frame a situation where the suspect is led to believe that cooperating will be in their best interest. They may use statements like, "You can make this easier on yourself," or, "If you tell us what happened, we'll take that into account." This framing alters the way the suspect interprets their choices, guiding them toward compliance. How would you frame a decision to make someone feel they have no choice? This is how the FBI gets confessions, by making you believe it's your only option. Section 8. The power of hypnosis and suggestibility. What if I told you the FBI could make someone do anything, without them even realizing it? Welcome to the secret world of hypnosis. Hypnosis is a method that the FBI, through covert methods, has used to extract confessions or gather intelligence. By inducing a state of deep relaxation, the mind becomes more open to suggestion. The FBI has used this technique in high-stakes interrogations to bypass resistance and influence the behavior of suspects, often when conventional methods aren't working. The most effective hypnosis involves using triggers, keywords or actions that snap the subject into a state of suggestibility. Once in this state, an FBI agent could ask the subject to recall events they may have otherwise suppressed or to share information they are otherwise unwilling to provide. This technique, however, is often used sparingly and carefully, as it can have unpredictable results. Can the FBI control your mind? Watch how they make you relive memories and share secrets you never thought you'd reveal. Section 9. The power of emotional manipulation. What if the FBI could control your emotions, making you feel guilt, fear, and even compassion, all within a few moments? This is how the FBI manipulates emotions to get inside your head. The FBI knows that emotions are a gateway to the subconscious. By manipulating emotions, they can manipulate behavior. Emotional manipulation occurs when an individual's emotional state is altered, creating a situation where they are more likely to act according to the manipulator's will. In high-pressure situations, the FBI uses techniques to create feelings of guilt, fear, or even empathy to elicit cooperation. For example, a suspect might be made to feel guilty for betraying their country or fear the consequences of not cooperating. Conversely, the FBI might invoke sympathy by appealing to the suspect's sense of family or compassion for others. Have you ever been emotionally manipulated without realizing it? The FBI uses this technique to make you reveal secrets you didn't even know you had. Section 10. The invisible forces controlling your mind. Everything you've seen, read, or heard so far is only the tip of the iceberg. The FBI's mind control techniques go deeper than you could ever imagine. But here's the scary part: these tactics are not confined to interrogations or intelligence operations. They're being used in the world around you, every single day. As we've explored, the FBI's mind control techniques are deeply rooted in the manipulation of psychological principles, emotional states, and cognitive biases. These methods have proven time and time again to be effective tools in breaking down resistance, extracting confessions, and gaining control over individuals, often without them even knowing it. But the chilling reality is that these techniques are not reserved for FBI agents alone. They are used by organizations, leaders, and influencers in various fields to subtly control your thoughts, emotions, and decisions. From advertising to political campaigns, the techniques you've seen today are applied in different forms all around us. In a world filled with information overload and constant psychological pressure, understanding how these methods work is the first step toward recognizing when they are being used on you. You've just scratched the surface. The world you live in is full of hidden manipulation. How much of it are you aware of? The FBI's mind control techniques are real, powerful, and frighteningly effective. But here's the question you must ask yourself: who else is using these techniques on you? And how can you break free from the invisible forces controlling your mind? If this video has opened your eyes to the psychological techniques that the FBI uses to control minds, then don't just keep it to yourself. Share it with those who need to know. Drop a comment below and let us know which mind control technique shocked you the most, or if you've ever seen these methods used in the real world. Don't forget to hit the like button if you found this content eye-opening, and make sure to subscribe to stay updated with more deep dives into mind manipulation, secrets, and the hidden truths that surround us. You don't want to miss what we're revealing next.